back with the latest and greatest from Govee, the Govee RGBIC LED strip lights. These retail for around 30 bucks on Amazon and are Govee's version of addressable RGB. You can control these lights with an app, and they're also compatible with your Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. Inside the packaging, you get some directions that we won't need, an alcohol prep pad for cleaning off your mounting spaces, as well as 16.4 feet of RGB LED strips connected to this little thingy, as well as a 24-watt power supply to really crank up the brightness, and your mounting hardware. I will say they do include a fair amount of mounting clamps, which I am actually very pleased with, because usually they cheap out on it, but Govee is starting it off right. These are the H6143 model. They have a current of 2 amps, size of 16.4 feet. Within that 16.4 feet, there are 150 LED light diodes, as well as a number of the IC chips. How many? I don't know exactly. 24-watt power and a voltage of 12 volt DC. On the back, if you don't have it already, you can scan this QR code with your smartphone and download the Govee Home App. Let's get these suckers hooked up. Right away, these lights are firing off. We don't want to keep them on while on the reel because we don't want these to overheat. Not that I think they would, but you know, safety first. If we want to turn these off, we don't even have to have it hooked up to the app to control. We can simply use this mountable wall panel, wall control, that's probably the better word for it, to turn things off. Additionally, we can cycle through a number of different colors as well as modes, all using just this. And if you couldn't tell already, there's a microphone built in this, and that's why this is reacting to my voice. Let's get this turned off and we will connect it to the app. The Govee Home app is available on the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. If you already have it downloaded like me, all you have to do is simply open up the app, and then to connect these light strips up, you will press the plus button in the upper right hand corner, search your model number of H6143, 5mm RGBIC strip light, and then it will search for a Bluetooth connection, which this will come up, but since I already have mine connected, it will not. So once it locates your device on Bluetooth, you'll select it. It will ask you to enable your location settings, and then you'll have to put in your Wi-Fi name as well as your Wi-Fi password. It'll take about 30 seconds and these will be connected up. I did find it a little weird that you had to have your location settings enabled. Really weird in the fact that it wouldn't work unless they were enabled. But at this point, do I really care if they have that information? No. Once you have this connected, you'll see that it's connected to your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. If you're having trouble connecting this to your Wi-Fi, make sure that you're connecting to your 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. This is not compatible with 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Inside the app though, you can turn the lights on and off, and it's pretty responsive even though it is on Wi-Fi. One thing that I did like about the Govee RGBIC LED strip lights that we reviewed previously were that they were Bluetooth controlled and the connection was very reliable when I was in the vicinity of the lights. But these so far seem to be reliable when I'm anywhere in my house. In the effects lab, there are just a ton of different selections we can make for colors, and for people who are not very color coordinated and slightly colorblind like myself, they have different categories of color like Earth, Mercury, Mars, at Elon Musk, but that's enough of the effects lab. What we really have to talk about is the different modes. If we go under scenes, there are a lot more available than what were previously on the other Govee RGBIC lights that I've had. There are 64 in total, anywhere from enthusiastic, yeah, that's really enthusiastic, to life, for all you gamers out there, romantic, for that special someone, festival, birthday, okay, or natural, like a meteor. Big fan of this one, big fan. In addition to the 64 scenes, you have the color mode where you can select different sections and customize the strip light. There are 15 sections in total that you can select and choose a color for. And there are the 4 different music modes where you can adjust sensitivity. The microphone is not in your phone, it is on this little thing on the wall. So if you start talking really fast, it might just make this go super fast, or if you're playing super fast music, I don't know. Last but not least, DIY. Oh, this is from the old one. DIY for all you artsy people. The thing that I've always enjoyed about Govee lights and use on a daily basis is the timer function for waking up. so mimicking a sunrise, especially in those dark winter months, as well as settling down for going to sleep. It will start at the initial brightness that you set and then go down to 0 over the course of the time that you have noted. So set countdown 15 minutes. Additionally, there are other timers if you want to be flagged by light. Speaking of light, how bright are these? Well, they're fairly bright, 24 watts of power going into them, which is a lot for LEDs actually. A normal like 60 watt equivalent LED bulb has only about 9 to 11 watts of power. I will say that you shouldn't depend on these to light a room. They are good for small spaces if you actually need them to be the main light, but in places like my bedroom, you still need regular overhead lights. If they're ever too bright for you, you can adjust the brightness right on the app. And that's really about it. If you go back, you can see all the other devices that we have in place from Govee. If you do have multiple Govee lights, you can go into smarts and make shortcuts for them that sync them all together. So really cool functionality all within the Govee app. And that's really why you buy Govee LED light strips compared to any of the other slightly off-brand light strips on the market. The LED strips themselves are okay quality. They're pretty standard. They have the addition of the IC chips, which mean you shouldn't cut them. The thing that I don't like about these is that they are not covered in epoxy like some of the better water resistant LED strip lights that I've seen before. Additionally, the connector between the control that goes on the wall and the strips themselves is not removable, so you cannot change these in any way. Like you can't just unplug these, which I think would not only be annoying from a customization standpoint, but also for mounting. If you ever have to feed these through a small space, you have to have all this lumped together with it. The last thing that I do want to mention, for those of you who do want to connect this up with your Amazon Alexa and Google Home, it's very simplistic. You simply press the gear in the upper right hand corner. If you go to the Alexa guide, it'll tell you exactly what to do for binding your account, as well as the Google Assistant. It gives you full directions on what you need to do there. So everything to get this connected to those devices is within the app. One last feature that is totally underrated is the device safety, which if you enable on like public networks like your college, if you want to put these in place but don't want other people messing with them, you simply turn that on. Other people can't connect to it. Very great. What was super annoying in college is having people connect to your Google Chrome device and streaming random stuff like 3411 Heaven Media videos. If you'd like to purchase these Govee RGBIC LED strip lights, we'll have them linked in the description below. If we didn't answer any questions in this video that you still have eating at your brain, please comment those down below. Lastly, if you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, don't forget to drop a like and click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. I'd also encourage you to go check out some of our other videos reviewing other LED strip lights so you can compare these before making your purchase. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bird out.